What's up, y'all? Mr. Flip Flop at it again. By the way, I appreciate the love and the views on the comments on the first few videos. I'm gonna keep giving you more videos raw and uncut. I will do 2 videos a week, to keep you guys informed. This week, the second volume 2 of DR Cribs will be out. That's got a lot of responses. People seem to like that. So for me, you're gonna get the videos, information videos. DR Cribs, I'm gonna keep that series going. DR Stories, you know what I'm saying? I haven't put out volume 1 yet, but hopefully I'll get to that soon. I got a ton of stories. Today we're gonna do Dominican Republic do's and don'ts. This is if you're a traveler, if you're living here. Just some things I need to get off my chest that I see happening, and people should be aware, before you even come down here. Just be aware of what's going on, and not get caught up in too much hoopla, But first, I do have to make this statement. Someone hit me up about the DR Cribs video. Now, I don't know if I think I mentioned shorty and ladies a couple times. That's just how I talk. I do live with 2 women. We have a nice arrangement. Maybe almost a year now we've been living together. It's my situation. Nothing crazy about it for me. We decided we had a situation going and decided to all live under the same roof. So if you hear me say shorty, you hear me say ladies, you hear me say jazz, that just, I might be speaking of one or the other, But it has its ups and downs. It's not all gravy all the time like people may think, because it is a relationship. But yeah, we get along fine, and at the moment things are cool, So so I do live with 2 women, and that is what it is, That's one side, one adventure of my life right there. Also, I was talking to a few guys, and it's something I need to address. I see we have a lot of confidence issues. I always knew that as a society, we tend to be less confident. Fortunately, I was raised a certain way with people who were very confident. My grandfather, my father, my grandmother, they raised us a certain way to be confident, So I've always been on a different route than everyone else. I've always done my own thing. What I can say is, people always go, well, how'd you do it? How'd you just jump and move to another country? Listen, I take chances on me. I believe in me, so no matter what happens, I'm always gonna believe in me. I can start from 0 and get to 100 real fast. I'm not concerned with what society thinks or what the status quo is on what you should do with your life. I actually had an incident where my oldest son, he dropped out of school at 18. I was pissed, super pissed, because I told him, he's doing so great, won championships in basketball and football. He's doing so great, and then all of a sudden he turns 18 and says he wasn't do school anymore. I was very angry about that, because I wanted so many things better for him, and so much I saw for him in the future. So as I had time to think, I said, well, I did tell him to be a leader and create his own path, and I guess his path wasn't school anymore. He wanted to pursue other things. So I was kind of a fool to get mad at him when I raised him to do his own thing, create his own lane. And quitting school was something he decided he wanted to do, and honestly, I had to apologize to him, because I'm like, well, if you're watching me do my own thing, and I'm always telling you do your own thing, I can't be mad. You choose your own path. We all choose our own paths. If you decide to work a 9 to 5 for the next 30 years, that's the path you chose. What you need to do, though, is get some traveling in. I think I saw a quote today that life is a book, and those who don't travel on the first page. I believe it's, if I'm not mistaken, and that's real. I didn't travel till later on in life, which I'm glad. I traveled all around the U.S. I thought that was cool, but it wasn't. My first trip out of the Bahamas was amazing. I had girls all over me, but I didn't want to talk to no girls. I left a 10-foot snowstorm in New York, and I just really wanted to enjoy this. I'm on an island walking around. Wow, it was just weird to me. You know what I'm saying? So just getting out of the country was amazing. All I wanted to do was just soak it all in and just be like, dang, this is crazy. It's something different. You know, then I went to DR, then I went to Jamaica. You know, I traveled a few places, and it's just a different, you know, okay, traveling to Miami, traveling to Atlanta, that's cool. I was in Atlanta every 2 weeks, but then I started traveling out of the country, like, it's such a different vibe. You know, different, everything's different. So, you know, never be afraid to take that step, you know. I have a great work ethic because of my grandfather. I watched him work his ass off and then be forced to retire. And then I watched him sit and not have anything to do because he was used to a routine for 40-something years, you know. And I always said, well, damn, and I love the work ethic, but my grandfather, you know, after you retire, they say you got a couple of years and you die, and he died. And I always said, well, his work ethic was amazing, but did he really experience anything? All he knew was work, you know. Case in point with me, one of my companies, one of my trainers came and asked me, she said, do you work to live or live to work? And I really couldn't answer that question. That question was one of the main reasons I moved out of the country, because I couldn't answer. All I did was work. You know, it was nonstop work, you know, and I had to do something better. You know, I work a lot, I work all the time now, but I'm in a different atmosphere. Everything here is different. If I'm in a club, I'm working. If I'm sitting out getting a drink, I'm working. So, you know, it's a different vibe. I'm not on no one's schedule but my own. And you know, we put limits on ourselves because we stop ourselves from progressing. You know, always worrying about the what ifs or what stops you from progressing. What ifs are a speed bump in your future. You know, if you keep putting enough what ifs, you end up making a U-turn and going back the other way, and you never progress. You know, so cancel the what ifs and travel. Make some adjustments. You know, with you, be more self-confident. You know, easier said than done, I know. And I'm not telling anyone quit their job and move to another country tomorrow. Please don't do that. But I am saying stop the self-doubt. Stop telling yourself you can't do something. Take a leap of faith sometimes, you know. It's a lot, but you can do it, you know. You got to believe in yourself and you can do anything. We'll get to that another time too as well. Now, let's get into the Dominican Republic do's and don'ts. A few things I want to touch on. First, number one on my list, don't fall in love. I mean, it's self-explanatory. Travel, living here, whatever it is, there's love here. Don't get it wrong. I ain't saying you can't fall in love. But I'm talking about just jumping up, falling, thinking you're in love in a couple of days or a week. That's lust. That's not love. That's obsession. That's not love. You know, falling in love is a whole different aspect. You know, but love yourself first. You can't love anybody until you love yourself. So who you fall in love with? If it's lust, it's lust. If it's obsession, it's obsession. Cool. Be that. I fall in love every couple of days. Hey, it is what it is. You know? But falling in love is crazy because how do you know it's love? You know, in my mind, it's like you're just so enamored with the fantasy that, that you thought it's love. You thought it was love. You know, enjoy the fantasy. Enjoy it, have fun with it. Go home, forget about it, book your flight, repeat. You know, and just keep repeating like that. You know? But falling in love is kind of crazy because it leads to a lot of emotional issues because you may be in love, she may not be in love. You know, you ever saw Casino with Robert De Niro? You know, he told Ginger, he said, I know you don't love me, but maybe you will learn to love me. Nah, cut that out. We're not going to do that. Yeah. All right, Ginger didn't love him. She never loved him. All the money, she never loved him. She kept going back to old boy. You know, so keeping everything in perspective. You know, another thing, you cannot buy love and loyalty. You cannot. You cannot buy love and loyalty. If I gotta type it on the screen so it rolls across the front and go, you cannot buy love and loyalty. You know what I'm saying? A little ping pong, whatever. You can't. Now, if you want to help somebody, you know, in a situation, help them out. You know, you feel you like somebody, you want to give them a couple dollars here and there, pay their rent, but whatever. That's cool. That's only it's your money. Do whatever the hell you want to do with your money. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you don't spend your money. What I am gonna tell you is do not think you're buying love. Do not think you're buying loyalty. Loyalty has to be earned. Trust has to be earned. Respect has to be earned. So you just sending $1,000, a few $1,000s, that doesn't buy love. That doesn't buy loyalty. You know, there's many horror stories I could tell you. And we'll get into that in the story section. But you can't buy love and loyalty. All right. My girls, I mean, I had one that, you know, I was in a situation for a couple months where I was messed up. You know what I'm saying? I had some issues with my money. You know, things weren't moving the right way. And she would come home and be like, listen, she makes a couple bucks a month, you know, the job she was at the time. And she would come and be like, yeah, I know you want to go out with the fellas, go ahead. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going out. You know, we ain't got balling money to be going out. You know, she goes, no, here, take this. Go out with your friends, go get some drinks, enjoy. And she wouldn't have it any other way. She's like, yo, get out the house. Go have fun with the fellas. And I go out. You know what I'm saying? She would be like, hey, you know, we got food. I'm cooking up. You know, she was never, when I was down, she was never like, well, this dude down, I ain't rocking with him. She was there, had my back. You know, Shorty, up and down. Shorty was always like, listen, I got your back. It's us. You know, that's actually why the three of us are the way we are, because no matter what the situation was, good or bad, I'm not just talking about in the bad times, good or bad, they were both always there, had my back. You know, even when they were mad at me, it's like they got my back. You know, they're in situations that they had nothing to do with, but making sure I was okay. So we built that trust and that loyalty. You know, but you can't buy it. You know, you just can't buy it. Someone's got to prove their loyalty to you. You know, that's my biggest thing. Don't think you can buy love and loyalty. It takes time. You have to vet people out. Someone may love you to death because financially you are their hero, but what do you know about them? What are they doing for you that you feel, okay, I'm gonna make sure they're good, but what are they doing for me? You know, like I said, just be wary of everything. Just be careful. You know, you can't buy love and loyalty, so don't try. Like I said, you want to give somebody money, help somebody out, do that. But just don't think you're buying love and loyalty. Another thing I'm going to tell everyone, you know, stay away from these street hustlers and scammers. I mean, dude, I be seeing dudes want an entourage. I guess that's cool, but you do not need all these hanger-ons and dudes rolling on the back. And, I mean, you want to help people out, that's cool. But I see dudes with 10 and 12 hanger-ons. You know, they ain't about nothing but taking your money from your pocket. You know, I got dudes I deal with. I mean, I got dudes, I'll be honest with you, I got dudes who don't like me that I would recommend to you as a driver, as a translator, as someone I know you can trust. And they don't even like me. But I'd recommend them because I know them and I know you can trust them. But there's a lot of these dudes that are just straight street dudes that they just trying to get a couple of bucks out of you just any time. You know, so you don't need them around you. You know, you see me, I roll dolo. I don't keep anybody really around me because what do I need them for? I speak Spanish, you know. And if I didn't, I'd have somebody translate for me that I trusted, you know. If you want to feel like a superstar, go ahead. There's only a few dudes out here I recommend it, and I knew them since they were young kids, and a lot of them have a nice clientele base, so they don't even need my referral, you know. But you got these street hustlers, you got the drunks, the coke heads, the crack heads, whatever, and it's because they say, hey, my friend, or what's up, man, what's up, da-da-da, or what's up, my, you know what I'm saying, and you thinking, oh, it's cool. Nah, they ain't cool, man. They out here hustling, especially in Sosua. Sosua's a hustle town, so you gotta watch for it. You know, there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of kids I knew since they were younger. I won't name them. I'll hit them up, say they want to do a video. But they, you know, these guys are legit. Those are cool. They take guys around, show them around, drive for them, translate, you know, make sure their trips are okay. But then you've got the guys that are just leeches, you know, just leeching on you. And you don't need that. You know, I actually had a guy come to me one time. He was like, hey, this guy's cool, but I can't get rid of him. And I went and talked to him like, yo, what's good, blah, blah. And you know, he was tight at me, but I'm like, yo, homie, don't want you around him. And that's another thing. Sometimes you can't get rid of them. So you keep them on. It's like a leech. It's sticking to you. So, you know, you don't need an entourage. If you need help, there's enough people around that'll holler at you, give you help. You know, if you need security, holler. I mean, you got Tony. I'm going to do a video with Tony soon. He does private security. I'm sure somebody saw another video. You got guys that'll help out, you know. But keeping all these street dudes around and keeping the entourage of these dudes, you don't need it. Honestly, I see it all the time, and I be looking like, why? You know, I had to get a friend of mine the other night, and yeah, he gonna be looking at this video. I just spoke to him too. Why do you have these dudes around you? You know, why do you have these dudes around me? I don't even want them around me, let alone why they around you. You know, so just, you know, keep your head about you. You don't need all these cats around you. If you want to feel like Puff Daddy, have an entourage, go for it. I have no opinion about it. You know, you can ask your fellow travelers, man. Every hotel has a bunch of travelers. You can talk to them. You know, you go to any bar, any restaurant. There's people around that'll give you info. Okay, but just keep your head about you and enjoy yourself. You know, someone asked me about speaking Spanish. It helps. You know, it definitely is a great experience speaking Spanish. I'm able to travel this country, go wherever I want. But it's not necessary in certain parts. Mainly, Sosua, it's not 100% necessary. You want Spanish, and Spanish definitely will enhance the experience. You know, learning Spanish, I tell everybody, enhances your experience in any Latin American country. You know, because Spanish is the #1 language spoken in the world. You know, I learned Spanish when I was young, and I grew up with a lot of Latin dudes. You know, I actually had a punch bowl of different nationalities: Haitian, Puerto Rican, Colombian, black, white. I'm half white for those that don't know. So I grew up in my neighborhood. It's weird because I tell people racism to me is funny because I grew up in my neighborhood, South Jamaica, Queens, with my grandfather, who's Irish, his brother-in-law, who's German and Irish, and American, German, Irish, and American, and then his neighbor, who happened to be J-Lo's uncle, Ernie, who was Puerto Rican. So on this block, there's 3 houses in a predominantly, I guess you'd call it a black neighborhood, South Jamaica, Queens. I had an Irish, a German, and a Puerto Rican. And I grew up with that, let alone my household, which my mother was white and my father was black. So I kind of, you know, things were weird for me. I didn't understand racism at a young age. You know, my grandfather preached the things he did, you know, racism. Man. He hated racism, being Irish, you know. Anyway, but, you know, speaking Spanish definitely helps. It increases the chances that you get a better response from who you're dealing with, better time if you're going out partying. You know, no one can pad your bill or jerk you around, you know. And you know, it's just better overall. I mean, I like to have conversations with people and sit down and talk. And talking Spanish, you know, helps me out. I get to sit and chat, you know, and they actually love it when you can sit down and talk to them. Like, wow, you can understand me, I can understand you. It's all good. Same way you would feel if they came to America and sat and you want to talk to them. You want them to understand you, be able to talk to you as well. You know, which is why back to the street hustlers, I see some people slide up to the street hustlers because they speak English, and I can understand that to a point. I tell people, you know, keep them at a certain bay. You don't want everybody all in your ish and in your trip. Okay. Another thing I ran over this weekend, when it comes to money, okay, you do want to get change. You want to get pesos, okay? I tell people 2 things. Don't change money at the airport, okay? Don't change money at the airport. It's the lowest rate you can get possible. Find out what the rate is. You can either go to Western Union or Caribbean Express with your passport and change it at one rate, or you can go in the street. I sent you the video of Mateo. I call him up, he changes money at a very good rate. Or you can find someone in the street to change money. Now on the street, you know, if you know the rate, ask them what their rate is and see what they're talking the difference. You know, if it's not that much of a difference, sure, change your money. You know, but you want to have pesos on you. I see guys carrying cash all the time, American cash, and you get a lower rate when you go spend that money in the businesses because they give a lower rate because honestly, a business does not have to change your money. So when you give when you paying cash, let's say the rate is $49.50. Let's just say $49.50, and the business gives you 46 or 47. They can do that because they're not a change business. So you've got to take your money and go to the change business and then change money. So for them, that's extra money for them. You know, so they give you the lowest rate possible, and then they go change your money over at a better rate. Okay, so get pesos, man. Change your money over to pesos. I tell everybody, I have some guys had an issue with the ATM. Always check the ATM. If you're traveling, call your bank. Call your bank, before you go out. Let them know, hey, I'm going to Dominican Republic, or wherever you're going, or Colombia, wherever I'm going, and say, hey, I'm going to be traveling, because they will block your account. I've had it happen to a couple guys the other day. Just simple things like that can mess your trip up. If you're sitting here, a bunch of guys got no money on them and nobody's ATM is working, it can cause a little bit of drama. So, change your money over to pesos. Find you a good rate somewhere. Change your cash over to pesos. And try not to use your ATM card unless you have to. And before you even get on the plane, call your bank. Let them know, hey, I'm gonna be traveling. So this way, if you go use your card, you have no issues. Those are the basic do's and don'ts for me. Just a couple of things I went over. And like I said, enjoy the trip. Enjoy your vacation. Don't make it rocket science. I tell everybody that. Don't make it rocket science. Enjoy the trip. Have fun. Go home. Book another flight, and repeat. That's it. It's not that hard at all. Like I said, we're gonna get into more videos, more DR cribs. I'm glad you guys enjoy the videos. I'm glad you guys are subscribing. I definitely appreciate you, and I'm here for the people. All right, so until next time, Mr. Flip Flop out.